taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Okay,
Love our
that
music.
worked. Are we live?
Gosh, I hope we're live, right?
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, right.
Yes, let's hope we're live.
I
Welcome,
don't-
everybody, to the Isn't It
I don't
Romantic
think we're live.
Club. We are live, Sharon?
No, we're not live.
We're not live?
No, not.
It
So I
says
see that we
eyeballs
have
on
some
it.
people watching.
It just popped up. We are live. I don't know.
Okay, we
Okay.
are live.
Notifications from StreamYard. I'm sorry, guys.
Perfect
So
as
if,
always.
if anybody's
Ladies,
watching,
perfect as always.
yes, if anybody's watching, just pop a comment in. Let us know you're there so we can confirm for sure that we really are live right now.
We
So
appreciate
everybody,
it. Thanks, guys.
welcome to the Isn't It Romantic Book Club. We are going to be discussing today Lori Foster's The Little Flower Shop. But it is hard to aim this thing right? There we go. Which is such a fun book, right?
Oh yeah.
Great
Oh my
book.
God,
I
there's
love
like
it.
every character in here. It's like, I love that one and I love that one and I love them all. And now I want to move there. And cemetery sounds like such a
Yes.
beautiful place. And so anyway, guys, make sure you let us know in the comments if you have any questions for Lori, because we're only here for 30 minutes today because we're going to be fast today. So be sure to let us know. And also, we can't always see, I know you're on Facebook, but we're not on Facebook. We're beaming into Facebook. So a lot of times your comments don't tell us your name. So when you leave your comment, maybe just put your name right at the bottom of your comment just so that we can see it. Otherwise, it'll just say Facebook user to us. So anyway, I am Abby Rhodes. I write dangerously dark romance. I tell people, think an episode of Criminal Minds meets a love story with a little twist. I have 2 books out right now. Dangerous. Oh, they're kind of behind me right there on the ceiling. See, behind me. Yes. And those are my 3 books. And 2 of them are out now, and Shattered Dreams comes out next week. So that's me.
Oh yeah. Congratulations, Neat.
Yeah,
Yay.
I'm so excited. Hi, everybody. I'm Jenny Martz. I write small town stories with humor and heart. I write well, can't speak well, apparently. So my stories are, I've got 6 different series that range from my fun, cozy mysteries to hockey players to hockey playing cowboys. I'll tell you, this is a juggling act to try to hold all the cute, look at the hot, but I don't want you to miss out on some hot cowboys. So my newest books are Every Bit a Cowboy that just came out this March. And I'm so excited because, like Abby, I have a new book that comes out in about a week and a half. Take the Honey and Run is my new cozy mystery.
Love it.
Jenny.
So beautiful.
Yeah, and we also have Wedding Tales, which is one of our fun that Sharon and I are both in. So anyway, so excited to be here. So excited to hang out with Lori again. We just love her. She's one of our favorites. And over to Diana.
Hi, everyone. My name is Diana Munoz Stewart. I write romantic suspense for the strong of heart. I don't have any books with me or anything because I'm in a hotel room in Vegas. For all of you who have been watching my post, my husband has been playing in the World Series of Poker. And it sounds so bad, but gratefully he lost last night. So we are done in here today, and we're going to go hiking and start our actual vacation. But anyway, so I don't have my books with me, but my next release, Reckless Grace, is out August 15th. And that's all I'm going to say because I'm discombobulated.
I felt that way when my kids were in like sports, little kid sports. Like, oh, I'm so glad they lost. Championships.
Exactly.
Anyway, my name is Sharon Ray. And I'm sorry for the debacle in the beginning. We've been really struggling with StreamYard, and we just recently did a whole live stream where it never even showed up on Facebook. So anyway, that's why I was being very contrary, because it's like, it's not showing up, but it's showing up. So we're live. So happy you're here. I write romantic suspense. My current book is Love's Last Kiss, per the Deadly Force series. Think sexy green berets and kind of Dan Brownish type mysteries. And I've got 2 anthologies. I'm in Wedding Tales with Jenny, and my first motorcycle club romance is in It's crazy.
I
love that
It's
cover.
just
Such a huge
It's a great
book.
cover.
It's such a huge book. Anyway, it's totally fun. You want to check it out. But today it's all about Lori, and we're so excited that she's back with her book, The Little Flower Shop. Let me read her bio quickly. Lori Foster is a New York Times, USA Today, Publishers Weekly bestselling author of more than 100 titles. She's known for her fun, very sexy contemporary romance novels revolving around alpha males and meet and fall in love with strong, independent women. Lori's been a recipient of the prestigious RT Book Review's Career Achievement Award for Series Romantic Fantasy, Contemporary Romance, and even more fun, she's been a clue in the New York Times Crossword Puzzles, a clue in the USA Today Quick Cross Puzzle, and the sensual and sexy Too Much Temptation was Amazon's 2002 top-selling title in romance. She also writes as LL Foster. She has a super active Facebook page, which I can attest to. It's fun. You should definitely join her Facebook page. We'll put a link in the comments below. She gives away reader goodies, t-shirts, ARCs, tote bags, and it's just lots of fun. So if you like her Facebook page, you'll never miss out. So without further ado, Diana.
Hi, Lori. Thank you for being
Am I
here.
super dark? Am I super dark
You're a
again?
You're a little dark. Yeah.
I don't know why. The lights haven't changed. I think it's just bouncing around. Maybe it's the weather that's changing it. I don't know.
She's a shadow member.
I got every light on. I don't know. Yeah. Every light's on. Try the hall light. See if that helps. I'm directing my manager over here. There we go. No, that doesn't help. I don't know. Sorry, guys.
No,
Lori,
that's
Lori, we
fine.
already have a question for you from Stacy Dubé. I'm probably saying that really wrong. Sorry, but Stacy wants to know what's the next book you're going to write.
Okay, so the next book that I'm currently writing one, it's related to The Little Flower Shop. Not related to, but it's from that same town. And it is, and I had to write it down because I knew I would get on here and forget. It is, where the heck is it? Berkeley and Lawson. So Berkeley, if anyone read The Little Flower Shop, she is the person that runs the pet shelter. And so she gets her own book now. So that book will be called The Love Shack. That's the name of the pet shelter.
Great name.
And well, they went back and forth on it. So initially my editor had wanted to call it The Wishing Well because there's a wishing well in it. And I can't title my own book, so I'm always whatever. I was fine with that. I thought The Wishing Well was as cute as The Flower Shop and The Honeymoon Cottage. And then she said, we want to switch it up. And she said, what's the name of this shelter? And I told her, and she said, we'll go with that. So unless they change it again, it'll be called The Love Shack.
Oh, I love it.
But then I also
it.
have, so like the Dangerous one was out. Gosh, you guys can't even see it. It's so dark in here. But the next book for that is out. What's that?
It just got brighter for a second.
That's because it was so close. I don't want to put my face that close. You guys will see every wrinkle I own, but I'm not that far away. I don't move in and out. So anyway, that's called The Fearless One, and that'll be out in December. That's the second one from the Osborne series. So that's already written.
I can't wait
Love
for
that
that
series.
one.
Yeah.
So, Lori, do you want to give us a brief overview of what the book is about? About Little Flower Shop?
Which one?
The Little Flower Shop. I'm sorry, for our viewers.
People always ask me that. And I don't know. Emily owns a flower shop. I'm terrible at this. I'm so
No, I
bad.
know. That's the worst question to ask an author.
I'm so bad at it. I was interviewed at my event by a longtime friend. And when she asked me that, I said, Marcy, I don't know. And she said, well, I do. So then she told what it was about, which was better because I'm terrible at it. But Emily owns a flower shop. She had a really bad marriage early on in life, so she's not looking to ever get married again. But all of a sudden, she's gone past 40, and she's sort of feeling it. And, she doesn't really feel like anybody's that attracted to her. She's just friendly Emily, known as the Flower Lady, because everyone remembers her as the Flower Lady. But Saul runs the local barbecue joint, and he's kind of had the hots on Emily for a while, been trying to inch his way in there without alerting her too much so that she doesn't freak out. And finally, he things happen in his life where he knows he needs to get on the ball. Things happen in her life where she's a little more open to trying a few things, and they try a few things and it works out. So that's the gist of it. See, that's how terrible I am at summarizing. Isn't that awful?
No, that was great.
that was
great.
Yeah.
It's
We're
so
great.
good.
There are so many characters. Like, I just want to say, I love everybody. And then, like, there's just, like, there's a few that I just love even a little bit more. Like Kathleen. Oh my
I love
God.
Kathleen. I want her to be like in a fantasy book where she wakes up and it's like real.
So
That was
the book that I'm
hysterical. So yeah.
Yeah, so anybody that doesn't know, she's a mannequin, and they sort of dress her up and put her all around town. And she's, if a parade goes by, Kathleen will be in the parade. If you go into the local restaurant at night, Kathleen will be in a chair somewhere. Everybody that has a promotional shop wants Kathleen to wear their promotional stuff. So in the book I'm writing right now, it's Berkeley in the same town who runs the pet shelter. And then Lawson has a print shop. And Lawson doesn't like Kathleen. She creeps him out. And every time he turns around, Kathleen's there. And he doesn't know why. People keep setting Kathleen up around him. And, like it'll be storming outside. He's thinking somebody needs to come get Kathleen. But all someone does is turn her head. So she's looking in at him. And he doesn't want Kathleen looking in at him. So I'm having a lot of fun with Kathleen, but I'm also having a lot of fun. Lawson and Berkeley came from the same really, really depressed, dangerous, poverty-stricken neighborhood. They never really interacted much, but they were aware of each other. He got out and, did a lot of construction, has been around the world, and she didn't. And she had this really, really traumatic thing happen, this huge scandal that has just really made her not want to interact with people. She's kind of trying to leave her past behind and just go forward. And then all of a sudden, here's Lawson. She comes to little bitty Cemetery, Indiana, where no one should ever know her. And there's Lawson, who does know her. So she's got her big conflict sort of already built in.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for her.
That sounds so good. I want to know where the inspiration from Kathleen came from. What made you think about that?
So there really was, you guys have those little Facebook neighborhood loops that are always so mean. They're so mean. I get on there and it just cracks me up. Yeah. I mean, not too long ago, we had, I guess it was an elderly person, crashed her car through the elementary school. I don't really know what happened, because if you just read the Facebook loop, you get everybody's speculation on what actually happened. I think her foot probably got caught. And luckily there was no one in the classroom, because she went through the school and down into the basement part of it. But the class had already, yeah, I know. It was like all the way across the lawn and into the school.
Wow.
I found out about it because my son sent me a link to the Facebook page. Oh my gosh, there were people that were praying hard, people that were chastising the people who weren't praying hard, people who were speculating on what a speed demon she must have been. Someone else was sure it was drugs. And it just went on and on and on. And I'm like, my God, there's entire threads based off of what this supposedly happened here. Someone was laughing, someone was mad. It was sort of entertaining to read. But that happened once with a company that was out here. And someone said, that's a new company. I don't want to go there because that person's always hanging out front. And someone said, I always see them there too. And then someone else said they're always drinking. They always got a cigarette. And after it went on, and all these people speculated and argued, then you find out it was a mannequin that was thrown away. Someone got it out of the dumpster and set it up. Somebody decided to put a shirt on it. And you know what I mean? So everybody's freaking out over this mannequin that's standing there. I was so entertained.
That is hilarious.
I wish I could have saved the loop. Yeah. So,
Wow.
people ask writers where they get their ideas, but that's where you get your ideas. You see one little thing and,
So
Carolyn
you're
Brown
observing humanity. Yeah.
Yeah. You see one little thing. Carolyn Brown said that she saw two people arguing at a fence. And by the time she got home, she had a 3-book series plotted out. And she had no idea what they were arguing about. It was just two people at a fence arguing. So that's kind of how a writer's brain works, so.
Right.
And you know what? I think that's part of why the pandemic was so hard, because we were home all the time and we didn't get to go out and experience humanity. We weren't out seeing all these funny things and hearing all these funny stories. And so I'm so happy that we're back in the world again and able to talk to people and hear stories and see funny things that are happening like that again.
Me too. And it doesn't even have to be funny. It's just anything can inspire you.
Yeah.
And I writer's brain will take one little thing, and then you see somebody buying a can of, I don't know, pickled pig's feet, you know, and next thing you know, you got a whole book planned out because it's just one little thing you told. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, two
You
other
recently
characters-
had a.
No,
Sorry, go ahead, Abby.
Go ahead, Dana.
Well, I was going to switch topic because I wanted to know you recently had your big reader author get together. How did that go?
It went really well. We had so much fun. We made, let me check with the accountant here. How much was it to the One Way Farm? I mean, to Cancer Free Kids? We rounded up to 36. He's saying 34,000. I think it was 36,000, but a lot of money that we
Wow.
were able to donate to Cancer Free Kids. So that was
Amazing.
really, really nice.
That's amazing.
And then I always sell my annual benefit book there too. Can you see it? I can't tell. I never know which way to go. That book. So they already got, that's for the Animal Adoption Foundation. They already got the advance and they get all the digital royalties. But then I sold these at the event and then some after I got home. And that's been, I had to write that down too. That's 3,300 just from the event
wow.
and these
Nice.
copies that we gave to the animal shelter. So we had, you know, a lot of really awesome authors, some newer authors, some new to us authors, tons of books were sold. Yeah, it was a really, really, really good time. And of course, we're already heavily involved in planning next year. So next year, I know that we're going to have some some people new to us. Rayanne Thane's been there once before, and Lori Wild's been there once before, but they're both returning. And then Michelle Major, it'll be her first time. Viola Shipman, Wade Rouse, it'll be his first time. He's attending. Tara Taylor Quinn. Oh, there's other people I can't think of. There's a bunch of newbies that are coming that have never been before, plus a lot of our regulars that, you know, pretty much put it on their schedule as soon as they know the date. So a lot of fun.
Nice.
Sounds like a blast.
One of these days we'll get you for there.
Yeah.
So,
One of these days. We're definitely
Okay.
going to do this one of these days.
Yeah.
So two other characters who I thought were well, actually, let me say four other characters. I just absolutely adored Mabel and Sullivan.
Sullivan.
Me too. You're taking the words right out of my mouth,
I
Abby.
mean, gosh, they're just his little old man loved her and wanted to go at her all the time. Like, I just loved that, you know.
Yeah.
And then the other two that I really just fell in love with also, and I loved everybody, but also
Thank you.
Satin and Snuggles. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Satin and Snuggles.
Well, have you guys ever had a pet like that was just a
Yeah.
snotty little pet, gave you fits?
Yeah.
And poor Emily, she wanted that little pet she could cuddle with, and they both were just like, you know, you're our enemy for now. So I felt so bad for her.
And you
Yeah.
portrayed Satin so perfectly, like putting her nose up in the air and walking off, her tail up in the air and walking
Her
off.
tail up in the air, yeah.
Like,
Well, I have 3 cats, and the cats will do that. Frosty, our oldest, who's actually, the vet didn't seem to think he'd still be with us right now, but he is. So he's hanging in there, but he's got some heart problems and a lot of issues going on. But he's the type of cat, once we take him to the vet, he's shot for 2 weeks. He wants nothing to do with us. He's furious at us. He'll hide. He'll come up and get food. And if he sees you, he runs back down the basement and hides again. Rumbles is the kind that, you know, you take him to the vet and he's a chubby boy. If you feed anybody else in this house, Rumbles is going to go in there and eat too. So he's a type where he's upset until you get him home and then it's like, it never happened. And Happy Cat is the kind that they could be drawing blood from Happy Cat and he'll be purring. You know, he just doesn't care. He's just happy about everything. So we have 3 very, very different. Well, it's kind of like my kids. My kids all had very, very different personalities. So cats are the same. They all have their own little things and they do get hurt feelings and, you know, get angry about things. And they learn to not trust very quickly. And that poor cat had not trusted until she brought his buddy back. So
no, that was
Oh,
the sweetest
I love,
story.
yeah.
So do you have a favorite aunt and uncle that that Mabel and Sullivan were patterned after?
I think it's Alan and me. I don't know about it. He said I'm always after him. You be quiet. we're getting there. But yeah, so there were some things that I drew from family members and people that I know real well. There were some that people online shared with me, Sullivan being legally blind and still trying to get bugs for her. A reader actually told me that because we sat down one time to eat. Alan had just made French toast out of nice French bread. It was, a fancy little thing. And there was a stink bug in the house. And I wanted him to get it. And he's like, I just sat down to eat. And I'm like, but there's a stink bug in the house. He totally fell off his duties on that one. I cannot tell you. I was so irate that he didn't want to get up and get that stink bug for me. And he's like, I'll get it in a few minutes. I said, we won't know where it is in a few minutes. It'll move because I wasn't going to sit there and keep it
They're
around.
sneaky, yeah.
Because they creep me out. Oh, they're so, I just don't like bugs at all. So that's again, a writer's brain, I wrote the guy that would never complain, pointing at him as I say that, about his dinner. He would just get up and get the bug. Alan usually does. So anyway, that kind of started that, but I was talking about it online, that particular story, and another reader told me that her uncle was legally blind, but would get up on a stool to try to catch bugs for her aunt, which is what Sullivan did. But Sullivan fell and got hurt. Luckily, her uncle had not gotten hurt. So, but that's what it would be with Alan. I'd be telling him, feel around. You're almost to it. Find that bug and get it out of here. Oh, I can't stand bugs. If he ever gets legally blind, I might have to hire a bug catcher to live with us to catch the bugs.
Or get the device that Saul got Mabel.
Yeah.
The special
one. I have one, but it's only like this. It's only like this long, right? That's too close to get to bugs for me. Because if you miss and they start flying around, then what do you do? So. Are you guys afraid of anything like that?
So you know what our problem is right now in our backyard is we have this whole area over to the side and we're getting so much rain and the weeds are going crazy. But when I went over there and we was weeding earlier this year, there was a snake that was this long and it freaked me out. And then I was cleaning the deck like later that afternoon and it was somewhere else that was curled up. And my husband is like, Jenny, that is a garter snake. It doesn't matter that it's 2 feet long. It cannot eat you. It will not bite you. It's just a harmless snake. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm not weeding that side of the yard. And the weeds are this tall. Because
it probably wasn't the same snake. You probably have a couple different snakes.
Don't say that.
That's
one now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's the story she's told.
My husband said that's not what she wants to hear.
No.
My cats catch snakes and bring them to us. Snakes don't scare me, but I know how you feel because that's the way I feel about bugs. So
yeah, and they sneak up on me, and so I go to reach for something, and then it slithers and moves, and so
yeah.
I
don't want to be taken by surprise by one, but snakes don't scare me.
Oh, I don't like snakes. I don't like any kind of nature that bites or stings or smells.
That's all of nature.
Or attacks me.
All of nature, yeah.
I'm good standing in it and looking at it. I'm good moving through it.
Yeah.
My husband was on a hike recently and was bit by a snake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's his nightmare. He's terrified of snakes. He probably will not appreciate me doing this live, saying that live, but he's terrified and he's always worried about being bitten by snakes when he knows they're around, and he got bitten by one. And then he called me on the phone and was like, I don't know if it's poisonous. It, ran away. And so I was talking to him, just saying, well, are you tingling? Is there anything happening? But he was fine. It was harmless.
Oh, that would freak
did it puncture the skin?
Yeah, it was hanging on his leg. It was like,
oh no.
Yeah, it was hanging on him.
I have nightmares about snakes. So I'll probably have a snake nightmare tonight from Diana's story.
I do too. And Lori, my husband is a parks guy. So he was like a park ranger. He's a park director guy now. He's worked up the chain. But so, I mean, let me just tell you how many times I've opened up my freezer and there's some frozen hawk or owl or some roadkill thing that he picked up and he just put it in a plastic bag and put it in the freezer because he's going to look at it later. Rattlesnake one time picked up on the side of the road, threw it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer. And then I go to get some chicken out and open up the door.
Oh my God.
See, that's another story right there.
Yeah, I was
That
just
needs to be like
like,
your
that
cowboy
needs to
books.
be
That would be
in a-
hilarious.
in a
Sounds like
book. That's right.
Sounds like a 3-book series, Jenny.
That's right. Perfect.
You know, my husband had these trails put in for me here. We've got like 10 acres and I like to walk, but I don't want to walk and run into people. I don't want people to see me and I don't want to see people. A lot of times I'm in my house coat taking my walk, my rubber boots. So it's around our property to where no one sees me until I cross the driveway and I can sort of peek out. And if there's nobody there, I run across the driveway to the other side of the woods. And I like to take my grandkids on walks. So I bought a package of rubber snakes and we hung them up in trees around there. And then I tell the kids while we're walking, just keep looking. Like, what are we looking for? And you got to be observant. You have to look around. So then they'll be like, is it this mushroom? Like, no, it's not the mushroom. Is it this hawk feather? That's not it. And so it kind of keeps them engaged a little bit with being outside and, you know, trying to pay attention to what's out there. And they did
But it
find the
makes
snakes
sense.
and they were not at all afraid. Yeah. It's just fun
And now
stuff.
they think snakes hang out of the trees?
Yeah.
Some places they do, though,
They
don't
do.
they? One
My
time,
husband just told me I was correct. It was 36,000, not 34. So he's
Oh.
usually my accountant. I can't believe he messed that up. Okay. Go ahead. Someone started to say something.
a small snake story. My husband and I, we were dating, and we went to a big park, and there had been 2 women that had been abducted and killed in this park, like just recently, like when we had been there. And so we were walking, just got on the trail, and the trail was paralleling the picnic area. So you could just kind of see through the trees, the picnic area. And so we were walking along, and all of a sudden there was a snake on the trail, and I screamed bloody murder and jumped on his back and kept screaming. And until he like ran down the trail with me on his back, you know, and we got far enough away to get off the trail and walked, you know, back into this picnic area. And then all of a sudden, all these cops come running into the picnic, come running onto the trail that we had just got off of. And I was like, oh my God, I think they thought I was getting abducted. Let's get out of here real quick. You know, 'cause I didn't want to admit I just got scared by a snake, you know.
Oh my God.
Well, those poor cops are probably looking everywhere then. That sounds like one of your books. That
I
sounds
know,
like that
that
could have
sounds like
started
one of your
your
books,
yeah.
Abby.
Well, you know how I know that my husband can make it home from work in under 6 minutes is the day that I walked into our garage getting ready to go to the swimming pool. So I had my swimsuit on and a snake was on the top of the freezer and it fell down my swimsuit.
Oh my God, Jenny.
How does that happen?
Oh,
Let me just tell you that you know those like preformed cups? Well, I don't exactly fill out the preformed cup, so it went through, hit the floor.
Oh my God,
Went into the house and slithered
I love
into
that.
the house.
Oh my
I
God.
wouldn't go back in the house. I went out the garage door. I screaming bloody murder. I called my husband and he literally dropped everything, jumped in the car, came home. It took him 6 minutes. And I'm in the laundry room. I came around, went down, looking in the laundry room. I've got a broom. I don't know what I'm going to do with the broom, but I'm waiting. I'm watching for it, trying to find out where it is in the laundry room so he can get it. And apparently it was just a bull snake and it was no big deal. But when it's in your swimsuit, it is.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
This sounds like one of Jenny's books, right? The snake falling down.
I know.
Well,
I haven't read Sharon yet. Now I'm going to be curious to see what's going on in her life. You have to be one of the next. I just finished
Sharon is one
Diana's and it
surprise
was
after another.
Oh, Diana's is
Oh,
fabulous.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Thank
absolutely
you.
loved
Thank
it.
you so much.
Absolutely loved
Well,
it.
you know, I can't
I
believe
think
that sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Diana.
I was going to say we're almost at a half hour, and I haven't really asked Lori any of the questions I had planned. So let me get this one in real quick. I wanted to know what inspired you to write an older character, although I don't consider her older at all. But
in the romance world,
Not
she's a
bad.
little older.
in the romance
Talking
world.
about for in the little flower shop.
Yes.
40
Yeah, the little flower shop.
41.
You know,
41, yeah.
You start getting past the mid 60s as I am, and all of a sudden trying to write a 20-year-old or even a 30-year-old, they're so young. And I saw Lori Wilde ask the other day. This was so interesting. I love seeing what other authors are doing on their Facebooks. And Lori Wilde said, I don't remember exactly what it was, but she said she had a young character, I think 15, that was wanting to leave abruptly. And she said, but what would a common lingo be? Like, you're not going to say, I'm going to blow this popsicle stand, because that's old people speak, right?
Right.
And there were some fun suggestions that came on. And then one of the readers said, none of your readers are going to know what that means if you put that in there. You need to put blow the popsicle stand, because we'll know what that means. And I think that's where I'm at. So it always surprises me when I hear from younger readers that still like my books, because I feel like I'm probably getting to that tipping point where I write like an older person, you know. I thought Jenny was leaning over to tell someone. She's so full. But she was sneezing. I forget that you guys aren't sitting together. Look, I was going to give Abby some tidbit there.
So Abby.
But you know, I mean,
No,
I
but
don't know what any of the lingo is anymore. You know, my grandson comes over and he's almost 18, and he'll say something and it'll take me a second to figure out what it means, because it's young people speak, you know, so
Yeah.
you know, maybe I'm just getting too old.
Do you sometimes think they know what it is because they've heard their parents say it? They, you know, even if they're younger, they probably heard their mom say blow this popsicle stand and thought she was.
Yeah, but I think she wanted that character to seem authentic as a young character, you know. So I understood what she was doing, you know. And I'm thinking, I always have to ask readers, what are the young people liking right now? What music would they be listening to? What would be their favorite styles of clothes? Because I have no idea. You know, I'm old and I wear what's comfortable, you know, so.
Well, I think the appeal of your books is the universality. Like, everybody wants to read about these characters. They're kind, they're interesting, you know, that you just draw us in with these quirky little details. And, you know, I don't think that, I just love your books. And I don't think that the age matters so much.
Thank you.
But
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm never quite sure. You know, it's very hard as an author to judge your own work, you know, so I know that if I don't enjoy writing it, I can't write it. So even when we see trends going a certain way and people will be writing certain things, I've never been able to like go with the trends, because I have to write what I want to write, what inspires me. It's why writing doesn't feel like work to me, because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And if I wasn't I hear from authors sometimes, and it's like, to hear them tell it, it's like working in the coal mines, because it's such a painful process for them. And I'm just like, you know, life's too hard. If you can't be doing more of what is fun and enjoyable, then pick something else.
Exactly.
You know.
Oh, I agree.
So yeah, I have to love it, and I have to have fun with it, and I have to cry when I want readers to cry, and laugh when I want readers to laugh, and
that comes through.
I have to have fun.
That comes through.
Well, you're right.
Thank you.
Such universal themes that I think is why you've been so easily able to go from genre to genre. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
Because the themes are truly universal. Doesn't matter if you're reading it in a mystery or a romance. And they still
because you want to know that no matter what people are going through, the right person is out there for them that understands it and will go through it with them and will have their back no matter what. And so that's what I try to do, whether it's whether it's a short book, you know, a mass market or a trade. That's what I want it to be. I want them to find their special person, and it changes everything.
Yeah.
Right. Because other people might look at M and see that she's uptight or whatever, but he doesn't. He's like, I love that about you. And
he sees everything that's good and knows the bad, that not bad, but the less appealing stuff is there, but it doesn't bother him. You know, my mother used to say those old sayings: if everybody hung their dirty laundry out and it started to rain, we'd all want our own dirty laundry. You don't want someone else's. And I think that's because we get used to our own, you know. I'm sure there are things about me that another man would kick me out the door. Same thing with Alan, but we complement each other, you know, and who's been very happily married for a long time, they complement each other. You know, that's the thing you want to find, the person that doesn't mind the faults and really likes the good things, and you enjoy time with each other.
You just had an anniversary too, right?
We did, yes, 45 years. Holy moly.
Oh, congratulations.
That's
Thank
a
you.
big milestone, especially in today's day and age. I just think that's amazing.
As I told him, I said, it's too late now. So no matter what he thinks at this point, he's stuck. So, you know, he'll joke and say, still joke and say, I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to keep you or not. And I'm like, oh, there's no getting out at this
Aw.
point. You're here. So,
Oh,
and if we counted when we met, it would be even longer than that, because we met
Wow.
our senior year of high school. We didn't marry till a year out of high school. So
that's
it's been a
neat.
while.
So you guys were really young, love.
We were. And that's why, like, when young people tell me it was love at first sight, I don't necessarily believe it, but I know it can happen. That love it, because it really, for me, it was. I don't know about for him. For me, it was absolutely. He walked in the door 3 days late after classes had started because he got transferred. And that was it for me. So, I went home and drove my mother nuts talking about him. She kept saying, just call him. And I said, I can't call him. Just for God's sakes, just go call him. Shut up about it and go call him. And I did. And that was back, this is how old we are. You didn't have call waiting or any of that. So when you tied up the phone, it was tied up. And I think we tied it up for like 4 hours. And we had those 100-foot cords. So I had dragged mine over to the basement steps and closed the basement door and sat there on the steps for 4 hours talking to him.
Oh,
So,
that's so sweet.
That's so sweet.
That's why
really
you're such a good romance writer, because you're a
Mhm.
romantic at heart.
Yes,
I love
definitely.
that.
I am,
And
yeah.
you're married to a
And it
romantic.
helps if you got a good guy. So that makes it a little easier.
Mm.
Oh,
Well,
definitely.
It was so great to chat with you today. I cannot believe that we're already at 36 minutes. Like, we just have so much fun together.
I know.
Sorry, I ran you guys over. And I wanted to say how much I loved your guys' books too. I'm a huge new fan of Abby's. I am so hung up on her stories. She just needs to write faster. I absolutely devour those books.
I
Oh my
love
gosh, like the
Abby's
best
books.
books I've ever
Yeah.
read. Oh, it's so good. I'd never read anything like that before. It was like so totally unique. I'm probably embarrassing her. And then Diana, I just read you. It's like, what a fabulous concept. I was so blown away by
thank
this
you.
family. I almost read the excerpt you had at the end, the prologue or
Oh,
whatever it's called
yeah,
at
the
end.
extra chapter. Yeah.
Yes, but I didn't because I want to read the other ones. But I thought, it'd be
Okay.
interesting to see what they've all done. So I'm going to try them.
Oh, it
And
was
of
fun
course,
to write.
I loved her. I think I sent you this weird email, but I probably sent it to the wrong email address. Because when I was first reading, I wrote you and I said, is she black or is she white? Because I was getting a visual of both and I couldn't figure it out. And then the very next page, I had my answer. So I'm thinking, if I just waited one more page, I would have known, so that was my only question. And then, of course, I loved your cowboy book. I loved that so much. What was the title of that? I've already forgotten. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget.
Oh, mine is Every Bit a Cowboy.
Yes, thank you. I read that was Carly and Knox. Was that
Yep.
it?
Yeah.
Carly and Knox. Yeah,
You have a
so
great memory.
cute, so fun.
I love that one. I can't wait to read your Take the Honey and Run, Jenny.
I know, Jenny. I can't wait to read that
one. Her new cozy. I can't wait to read that one.
My first hardback, Lori. After 30 some books published, I get my first hardback. So
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I
very
It's a milestone.
I know.
And then Sharon, you're on my list.
Oh,
I've just recently
worry.
started. For
You'll
the
love
longest
Sharon.
time, all I
Sharon's
did was
amazing.
reread my favorite historical authors. That was my reprieve from writing, was to read my favorite historical authors. And I've recently branched out. I'm like, holy cow, there's a whole big, gorgeous world full of amazing books out there. So it only took me till I
That's
was
why we
old.
have the book club.
I know, it's with the book club. I know, so people get to know new authors.
Perfect.
So it's great. It's been great for us. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank
Well,
you so
thank you
much for
guys so
joining
much.
us.
Yeah, I didn't mean to ramble on again and make you go.
No, my
you know,
gosh,
oh.
we love you, and this
No,
was so much fun. I feel like we
Me
really
too.
need to get to the reader author get together.
I
so we
know,
could just sit
I know.
down
Hopefully
and
2025. That's
chat
our,
and
our plan, right? 2025.
2025. We're going to try.
Yeah.
that'd be amazing.
I'll hold you to it.
All right.
Okay.
Hey.
All right, thanks,
Well,
guys.
thank you
and
so
our power
much.
stayed on. We're lucky the power stayed
Yay.
Woohoo!
Yeah, mine did too. It was amazing.
Enjoy
All
the
right,
rest of your
thank you.
Saturday,
Take
everyone.
care.
Bye.